Hi, it's Reagan. So before I start, I want to apologize for not making videos in advance. It's been a while. I took a couple weeks off. Timing is everything. When you do something, it's important that you do it in the right time. So I had to take some time off and deal with myself and personal issues, and now I'm going to come back and start making videos again. Number two, I'm on the metro, so you're going to hear a intercom in the background, but just ignore it. So my thought of the day is this: misgendering. A lot of times, as a transgender person, I sometimes am misgendered. I'll go somewhere or I'll be at work and somebody will say sir. Now, what I want to encourage you, if you're transgender, is to understand that from time to time you may experience being misgendered. It is not the other person's fault necessarily. The responsibility is how you handle it. Now, what I mean by that, and hear me out, what I mean by that is sometimes people say things out of malice, out of hatred, out of discrimination, out of just being petty, you know? And they say these things to deliberately hurt you on your journey or your successful journey of being a transgender. And the reality is you have to learn how to dig deep within yourself and say, I can handle that and not let that bother me. I can handle that and not let that affect me. The reality is you have to learn how to dig deep within yourself and be strong within yourself, because you are doing this for you and not for anybody else. Because if you make the mistake or you think you're doing this for someone else, then perhaps you shouldn't be doing this. You should only be doing your transgender journey just for you. So if somebody misgenders you, you have to learn to dig within yourself and say, I'm okay. Like if somebody would have punched you and say, oh, I got it, okay, I process it and move forward, you know? And that is not to say that your feelings are not valid. I validate your feelings, that you have the right to feel hurt. You have the right when they misgender you to feel sad. But you have to use those feelings and turn those feelings around, those weapons, and you use that feeling of hate and turn it for your own good. And use that feeling of hate and turn it to something positive. Say, yes, they misgender me, but I'm stronger, I'm better, I'm wiser, I handle that. I learned how to use that and process that to become a better person. And that's what you need to do. Let me give a good example here. I always tell people, not everybody has to accept the fact, and I believe this fully, that you're transgender, and they don't. Nobody has to accept that fact. That is the truth. Whether you like it or not, whether you love it or not, whether you accept it or not, whether you believe it or not, nobody has to accept the fact that you are transgender. Nobody. Except you to live in your truth. Except you to live in your authenticity. Nobody has to accept that. However, people do need to respect it. Does that make sense to you? Nobody has to accept it, but you need to respect it. And what I mean by that is how I carry myself with dignity and respect. For example, I'm on this bus, and nobody is going to tell me as an African American to get on the bus, pay at the front, get off the bus, and go pay and get on the back. No. Because while a lot of people do not accept the fact that I am African American, I ride the bus, and I sit in the front if I choose to, you got to respect the fact this is what I do. Does that make sense? Because I have the right to be here. And whether you or anybody else likes that, that's just the reality of life. So as a transgender person, respect the fact of who you are, accept the fact of who you are, and live your life and your journey. Not everybody else has to accept you, but they absolutely have to respect you. And I would say surround yourself with positive people. You know, even though you go through moments of, you know, not sure or, well, not sure, but I mean not, your attitude is not necessarily positive after you're misgendered sometimes. Just kind of, you know, sometimes go by yourself if you can. If not, just kind of dig deeper with it and say, okay, I got this. Because a lot of times when people do that to you, a lot of times they're trying to break you. A lot of times they're trying to hurt you and try to embarrass you. And so what happens, you just kind of take your shoulders back, put your head up, and act like they didn't say anything to you and just keep going forward. Because that takes the power and the sting of what they said away from you, okay? So God bless you and I love you and I hope that helps you today. Misgendering is my thought of today. God bless you. Be blessed.